Dandavat, Namaste,
Dhanyavad.
Maharaj.
Dhanyavad. What?
Dandavat, Namaste, Maharaj.
Okay.
Pranam.
Oh, Aditi Dandan Prabhu. Pradhan Vivi Prabhu. Haribol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How are you doing, Dr. Sa? You okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Good.
I'm much better. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Aditinanda
My regards.
Aditinanda Prabhu, ¿cómo estás? Es mutado, Prabhu, mutado. Prabhuji,
You are muted.
tu mutado.
Mutado. Muted.
He doesn't know.
Yes, no.
Yes. Dandava Krishna Kesava. Krishna Kesava. Dandava
Dandavats.
Bhakti Puri Maharaj.
Oh, Dhanyavad.
Puri Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Dandava. Hare Krishna. Hariananda no.
No, we don't see him.
Hariananda no. Problem.
He had problem?
I think Maharaj is saying without Hariananda, he'll have a problem understanding.
Understand.
Problem Hariananda.
Maybe that's just the case of a...
Yo hablo español.
Tony, what are you making?
He's outside walking in leaves.
Raking the leaves?
He's walking.
Walking.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
So what's the latest news from London? Any news?
It's very cold, Maharaj.
Very cold.
That's the news. It's freezing. Suddenly, temperature's really gone down. Possible snow next week. Yeah, just like that. Changed.
Yeah, this is the time of year.
Yeah.
Today we had a high of 57 Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that unusual, Maharaj?
Well, it's been cold also here.
Yeah.
Not getting sometimes below freezing. But somehow today we got a break.
Wow.
Very nice. Ekadasi.
Yes.
Holy Ekadasi day. You're not in there. Oh, there you are. So let's
Your blanket is
why?
your blanket is confusing the camera.
Oh. Okay.
You're floating, Maharaj.
I'm dissolving. Page 38.
It's frozen.
Is it bigger? Can you all read that?
Yes.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, so we'll chant Vandana. Vandeham
Vandeham
Shri
Shri
Guru
Guru
Sri Guru
Tarakam
Devota
Vaishnavam
Pada Kamalam
Shri
Gurun Vaishnavancha
Maharkana
Tanvita
Vitam Sadivam
Advaitam Saravatam
Sarvaitam
Parisharam
Sarvaitam
Vaishna
Harijanam
Saitam
Sahitam
Krishna
Nityan
Chaitanya
Nityanita
Devam
Krishna Pada
Hari Radha
Hara
Krishna Pada
Lalita Shri
Sri
Vishnukamvitam
Ramanuja Brahmanjana Timidandasya
Om Jnana Timirandhasya
Saja
Jnana Jnana Salakaya
Jaya
Chakshurunmilata Yana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah
Gurave Namaha
Puja
Pujya
Pujya
Sri Guru Varga Vandita Mahabhavana Nityaya Sada
Purva Parya
Paparya Parampara
Pracharita
Prachalita Prajya Pramutaha Kritaha
Parasya
Nirmalani Hariyata
Sadaram
Bhaktar Nirmala Nirasya Nirpadam Samskaram Sardara
Gurudeva
Vande Sri Gurudevan
Gorva Bhista
Gurubhavista Supragam Guruganar Asisa Sambhu System Chintya Achintya Samasta Veda Nirupanam Sri Rupa Pantha Anugamam Govinda Vidham Ujjalam Bharatanu Nitya Nivatya Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guruna Chadibhya Bhagavat Premanahi Pujya Devam Divya Tanum Sujananda Padanam Palakara Chalana Chintam Sandaranda Puram Sad Ekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamudhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Savabhakti Lasitam Saravastanam Bharam Vanditam Subhadam Madayeka Saranam Nyas Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidita Gaudiya Gaurava Anvaye Gato Manorim Prabhate Gagane Yogaura Sankirtana Mayavada Timilingodara Bhajana Jivamana Krishna Prema Sudhapi Grahana Sukham Padata Prabhu Boro Sokya Bhakti Mrittaye Angriya Magangayo Radha Bhave
Vande
Vande Bhakti Vinodam Sri Gaura Sakti Sarupakam Bhakti Sastragyan Samarajam Gaura Brajaseta Sreya Vaishnava Vandya Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Mavidam Vrida Vaishnava
Panchakar
Pancha
Sindhu
Patitinama Pavane Voyo Vaishnavayo Namo Namaha
Panchatatva
Panchatatvakam Krishnam Bhaktarupam Bhaktavataram Tuvyam Namami Bhakta Saktikam
Namo
Namo Mahavadayana Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namena Gurutisha Nama Namaha Jayatam Saratahu Pangarma Manda Matagati Mata Sarvasya Vyatya Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasana Statau Sri Gandharva Sila Govinda Devo Pativilabhya Sriman Rasa Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Priyaya Kesavaya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satya Tvai Namo Namaha Athanatva Mantra Garuna Garuna Bhavavartyadana Vyasana Jagadguruna Sri Guru Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundara Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hi, Sripad, Maharaja, Srila Charyadev, Srila Santa Maharaj, Ki Jai,
Jai
Govardhana Ki Jai,
Jai
Bhakti Jai, oh glories to
Jai
the devotees, oh glories to the worldwide devotees.
Jai
Sanmat Ki Jai. Oh Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol
Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai Srimati Uma Devi Ki Jai.
Jai
Okay. Today we're on the 10th chapter of the Prapanna Jivanamrita. In 174. Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribraja Kacharya Satarasata Sri Srimad Bhakti Rakshak Swami Maharaja Ki Jai. Sri Ramita Ki Jai. Yatyamano Bhagavan Ananta Utani Bhavo Vyasanam Hi Pumsam Pravishtikam Vidunotisham Yatatamoko Brahma Ivati Bhataha. From the Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 12th chapter, 48th verse. When singing of the glorious qualities of the Supreme Lord, Hari's personality is heard. He enters into the hearts of men to banish all their miseries, as the sun dispels the darkness and strong winds disperse the clouds. Adityanandan, do you have the Spanish version? Espanol? Prapanna Jivanamrita? You have?
His camera is frozen.
Huh?
His camera is
No.
Prapanna Jivanamrita.
en español. I'll send him.
Something happened. It got frozen.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to the next second verse. Vrishagirastha yasatir atsat-kata nakatyate yad bhagavan adhoksaja tadeva satyam tarudhaiva mangalam tadeva punyam bhagavat kunodayam. Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 12th chapter, 49th verse. Those words in which the glory of the transcendental Lord Sri Hari are such imaginary deceptive utterances are to be known as falsehoods. And those words in which the divine qualities of the Lord appear, such expressions are to be known as truth, the bestower of all success and the source of all virtue. Do you have Aditinandat? Español? Libre Español?
No, no, Maharaja, no.
No have.
Prabhu,
Spanish, no.
in the telefono.
No, you can't see that.
Ah,
I know, I sent it to you, Prabhu.
why?
Here is interesting. Bhagavatam is telling us whatever words we speak that have nothing to do with Hari is all nonsense. It won't help you. Yes?
Oh.
Okay.
Other telephone, other.
And WhatsApp.
Sí,
See.
yes.
Número de teléfono is 301-583-2002.
Sí. Please. Other telephone, other. 302. 302.
Sí.
433.
Sí.
8333.
Is everything okay?
I'm just.
Of course, we're waiting for you.
Oh, please continue.
Huh? It's okay?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. All such words that do not contain descriptions of the Lord, Hari, are to be considered false. They're in the Bhagavatam in the beginning, first, I think in the first or second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's described that all talks that have nothing to do with the Lord are like the croaking of the frog. At night, the frog likes to croak, tell everyone he's there looking for his mates. And when he's croaking like that, the black snake of death, the black snake is coming to eat that frog, because when he hears the sound, the snake can come and figure out where he is. And he comes to pounce on that frog and eat him. So it's called the black snake, the black snake of death. So what it's telling us that basically by speaking so many things, the bewildered souls are always talking. You see these so many chat bots, chat programs, Twitter and whatever. I don't have to name them all. But you see how much conversation they're having. Nothing about the Lord is there. And what are they doing? They're wasting their lives. They think they make their lives very interesting, but what are they doing? They're actually dying. They're not solving the problem of death. Just talking, and death is slowly coming. So that is not useful if one does not know what the purpose of the voice is, what the purpose of talking is to hear about Hari and try to achieve or attain a higher existence in the Lord's service, our real existence, the truthful existence. And by such talks, not only do we find truth, but we also find that the fulfillment of our life and all virtuous qualities will develop within the living entities. Because the mundane conversations, what do they lead to? They lead to hate speech, and then violence, killing one another, whatever, or killing themselves. Some people are so much disturbed by what others say, they want to suicide. This kind of talk, what is the use of that? It only has bad effect. So these things people don't know. People are uneducated as to what is what. And the whole world is like that. So it's necessary that the devotees preach. Now, devotees have some Facebook, other platforms by which they can preach the holy names of the Lord. That will be beneficial. It's for everyone. If they can hear those things. The next verse. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam Tadeva sasvan manaso mahotsavam Tadeva sokarnava soshanam nirnam yad uttama shloka yaso nugiyate. Canto 12, chapter 12, 50. Those words was the renown of Uttama Shloka, Sri Hari, he, the singing of whose glories destroys the ignorance of the world, are broadcast at every second. Such expressions alone constantly bestow newer and newer nectar. They inaugurate the heart's grand festival, and they dissolve the ocean of lamentation. Uttama Shloka, the highest talks. There are different levels. People could talk at different levels of realization. But the level of highest realization, the level that brings humanity to the highest stage of its potential capacity, Uttama Shloka, is about Krishna. What is that Chatur Shloka you read? Vrite Vatami Yat Pratiyeta. Don't have to look at it. But that one verse says, I alone am the absolute truth. Krishna is telling directly. Before the world was created and after it will be destroyed, I will be there. And while it is there, he is there is also the highest thing. So why should we not constantly try to remember that highest thing beyond all the so-called appearances of things? Those things that look real, but they have no reality. Only the Supreme Lord has a reality. Of course, doesn't mean the world is false or just a delusion. But the world has its purpose only in relationship to the Supreme Lord. And that is not only when we remember, it's always. We may not remember. Doesn't mean the Lord is not there all the time. He's there all the time, at every second. And to say Hare Krishna is valid all the time, in any circumstance. And the Lord is present in such names. People ask us, you're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Same thing you're saying over and over again. Don't you get tired of doing that? Here it says, such expressions alone constantly bestow newer and newer nectar. This they don't realize. We can read Bhagavad Gita 100 times, and each time we'll find a different meaning, a newer meaning coming out, something that we did not realize before. And it's infinite like that. And very nice here it says, they inaugurate the heart's grand festival and dissolve the ocean of lamentation. When we're ever feeling depressed, if we just go to the scriptures and read a little bit, immediately our depression will lift. We will recognize what the grand value of life is. Sometimes we're focused too much on our own pleasures, our own life. We become too centered in that. We simply have to go to the scripture, read a few of the verses, and immediately our mind will be lifted from all that false grievance. We'll find ourselves dancing, the mind glorifying the Supreme Lord instead of condemning our fruitless life. Anyone can experience these things, and not only the devotees, anyone. If they sincerely apply their attention with faith, they can understand how wonderful these things are. And why, you say, why does the world preserve these documents, the Vedas, for so many thousands of years? The Bible and so forth and so on. And it's not because they are just superstitious, carrying these books around with them for so many thousands of years. There's something valuable in them that people find of inestimable value that no other books can suffice in that direction. When people study the ancient, maybe Greek texts or things like that, and some of those stories of the gods and so forth, they may have some lasting interest for some people, not everyone. But the books of the Bible, the Vedas and so forth, they have a widespread interest in so many people. And for thousands of years, people go to them and hold on to them and try to gain benefit from them whenever things get of material nature get in the way, get too oppressive. So not only at times of oppression or depression, but all the time. Once the living entity recognizes how much sweetness there is in these literatures, and how they are the key to the real happiness in life and real exaltation and elevation in our life, then they can appreciate the value of these books and take proper advantage of what they have to offer. And then next verse. Natadvachas chitra padam hare yaso jagat pavitram pragunita karichit tarangshat chitam natuhang sevitam yatrachutas tatra hisaravo mala. Those utterances that, despite their charming ornamental presentation, never describe the renown of Sri Hari, which alone purifies the universe, such words attract only crow-like, superficial men, but they are never attended by the learned. This is because the immaculate-hearted sadhus adore the melodious words that sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavatam, in the first cantos of the Bhagavatam, it also mentions this about the crows. The difference between the crows and the swan. You'll notice, if you look at the crow's behavior, some bird or some animal gets killed on the side of the road, and the crows will be there eating. They do, these crows eat anything nasty. But the swans, you'll never find them doing that. Swans only swim in the purest water. And they take the nectar from the roots of the lotus flowers. So we have to distinguish between the crow-like men and the swan-like men. The swan-like men are called Paramahamsa. And it is only in the higher sections of learned personalities. For instance, in India, you'll find the Brahmins always interested in the chanting the different shlokas of the Vedas. They don't spend their time reading other things. They try to remain a very pure focus, pure-hearted focus upon the Vedic literature and Vedic shlokas, and take great pleasure, joy in pronouncing them, and being very careful to pronounce them all properly. And they get purified by that. They feel purified, and they purify the others by such sounds. And if we sit and listen, we'll find a very high quality. Of course, that's nothing compared to the devotees. Although the Brahmins are very learned, they don't have much devotion to Krishna. And we really, although we can certainly become purified by hearing such things, we can never develop devotion like that, because they have none. Bhakti comes from bhakti, not from gyan. Only by hearing from those who have developed love for Krishna within their heart, then we may get some devotional development awakened within our own heart. That is the process, actually. The mysterious process of Bhakti Yoga. It comes from heart to heart transmission. These other things are meant to help us to drag our minds out of the garbage, away from the dirty things. But to proper focus into the world of dedication that can only come from those who have their attention fixed there themselves. Next. Yasha Shriyam Eva Parishrama Paro Varnashramachara Tapa Shutastisho Avismriti Sridhara Pada Mayor Udanuvada Savadanda Tadadipi. The prescribed duties of the Varnashram hierarchy, performance of austerity and study of the scriptures, belabored adherence to such practices merely panders to one's reputation and influence. But the divine services, beginning with devotedly hearing the glories of the Lord, the supreme reward of never forgetting the Lord's lotus feet, is gained. The lotus feet of Sri Hari is gained. So as we were mentioning before, one may definitely get some benefit from hearing and performing the Brahminical activities or duties of chanting and studying the scriptures. But the benefit, the only benefit that brings to the individual is maybe some honor, reputation, and influence. Those who are looking for that may engage in those activities under the pretense of some religious or devotional activity, but they have an ulterior motive. Therefore, they cannot help us to gain the devotional inspiration that is needed to awaken Krishna prema within the heart. And Krishna is not impressed by that. There's a worldly desires. If who desires to remain in this world and have some prestige and honor, they may get that. They may work for that. But that will never get them beyond the sphere of material existence. The Brahmanda will not get them out from there. They will have to remain again and again in the cycle of samsara, trying to get some satisfaction in the form of honor, until they realize that that desire for honor and prestige is nothing. That does not save you from death. However much honor you are given in this world, you will have to die. And just like the dogs in the street, you will be buried. You can be eaten by worms. The worms don't think, oh, this is an honorable person, we won't eat him. They don't think like that. They don't think like that. No. There's a body, they'll eat it. So we should not confuse achievement in this world with achievement in the transcendental plane of eternal existence and love. Tasyara vidna, nayanasya padara vidna, kinjalka mishra tulasi, markaranada vayu, makaranda vayu, antargatasva, vivarena chakara, tesham, sankshobham aksharajusam, abhijita tanho. This is from the Bhagavatam, Canto 3. A beautiful fragrance emanated from the tulsi, united with the stamens of the lotus, flower-like feet of the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord. When the breeze carrying that divine fragrance entered the nostrils of the Chatushrana, it caused jubilation in their hearts, and the hairs of their bodies stood erect, despite their zealous attachment to the non-differentiated Brahman. We've spoken about this before, about the four Kumars, Chatushrana, four Kumars, how they are situated in the Brahman realization, the neutral state of Shantaras. although they are situated in their Brahman, undifferentiated, the undifferentiated conception or misconception of Brahman. They are situated there. Still, they became disturbed. Their minds became perturbed when they smelled the fragrance from the tulsi leaves being offered at the lotus feet of Krishna. In other words, the tulsi leaves themselves did not disturb them. The fact that they were being offered in love, that fragrance, diverted their attention. Now, because they were situated in Brahman, they were very highly realized persons. Even to realize Brahman, the very high stage in spirit, very high stage of realization. So for them, their minds to be diverted by something, it would have to be from that stage, very high stage of realization. So that fragrance mixed with devotion, that is what distracted them and attracted them to the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, they are called Shanta Rasi. Not exactly in a serving capacity, but they're in an attractive capacity. Their hearts are attracted to that higher level. Lower than that would be there is no attraction to Krishna. They're simply situated in their neutrality, undifferentiated monism. That would be lower. But higher than that is some attraction to Krishna. Dhanavad Maharaj. Santa Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Maharaja.
Atmarama Shamunayo Nigranta Ap Yurukrame Gorvanti Yahaiti Kam Bhaktim Itambuta Gunohari from the Bhagavatam, first canto, the famous Atmarama verse. Those sages who, being merged in the bliss of the spirit soul, are totally free from the binding knot of mental images. They too engage in the unmotivated service of Krishna, the performer of marvelous deeds. This is but one of the qualities of the Supreme Lord Hari, who charms the entire world. Jaya Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Parivraja Kacharya, Satana Sata, Sripad Bhakti Niskam, Santa Maharaja ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Sant Maharaj ki jai.
Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai. Dandavat Maharaj.
Jai.
How are you, Maharaj?
Okay, very happy now we see you. Atmarama verse, Atmarama means those who are self-satisfied. Atmarama. They find Rama, pleasure in the self. Rama means pleasure, Atmarama. They find pleasure in their own self. Those persons are not looking for some outside pleasure. They know how to find pleasure at all times within their own self. They don't need some other stimulus, external stimulus, to be happy. They're very, very high stage of liberation from the outer world of sense enjoyment or exploitation of any type. Atmarama. We cannot disturb the Atmaramas. They are not disturbed by any misdeeds by others. They find that the real joy is within their own hearts, with their relationship with Krishna. And everything is connected to Krishna. Everything. So what is the problem? As long as we are in connection with Krishna, what is the problem? When you have your connection with the Supreme Lord, then all problems are reduced to nothing. You are no problem. Because he is in charge. And your identification is with him only as his servant. The Atma Rama. They are not even influenced by the mental images or imagination. The things that come up in the mind, always disturbing, especially in this Kali Yuga. The mind is a source of so much disturbance. But even those things don't bother the Atmaramas. As soon as some disturbing thought comes, immediately say Hare Krishna and they're finished. Finished. And the more you practice that, the less those mental disturbances have a chance to come. They won't come. Heart will become pure, and those mental images will stop. They will realize they have no chance to get any attention from you. Of course, we can't just remain neutral. So even the Atmaramas, they have to engage positively in the service of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, they will become disturbed. Always their thoughts are how to engage in some service. In this way, they keep constantly busy. You know, they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So they don't let their mind become idle. In some way or other, they have to serve. And their hearts are also like that. They can't bear not to be engaged in some service. Not to be engaged in some service means to be idling in some material cesspool of desire or activity. That is not acceptable to the heart of a devotee. Something they have to do. Some service they have to perform. Yes, Maharaj? Maharaj knows. He's losing it so another. So deeply involved in those things.
Well, you are reading this from the Prapanna Jivanamrita, Maharaj?
We're reading from the Prapanna Jivanamrita.
Okay, Maharaj.
10th.
And this is the explanation that Mahaprabhu gave to Sarvabhauma and later on to Sanatana Goswami.
Yes. Amarama Shamunayo. The Amarama verse. And he explained it in so many different ways. How he could be so detailed in all these different things. So such high insight, deep insight into these things. Then I think, I don't remember how many different ways he explained it.
That is something, Maharaj, of the greatness of the Sanskrit language. And I was reading that during Corona time, the Mahaprabhu's teaching to Sanatan. I was so surprised to see even the chaw, means end, generally we think, and that chaw in that verse has so many explanations that Mahaprabhu has given.
What, the chaw?
The end of the verse ends in cha.
Oh, chaw.
And that, even just that, has so many explanations.
Also, huh?
Yeah.
And. How many explanations are there for and? A and D.
In addition to.
That's it.
As well as.
Just like that verse of the first verse of the Vedanta, Atato. Atato. Tato Brahma Jignasa. Atato. What does that mean? Atato. I heard it from Prabhupada. It meant now that you are a human being. Then from Sridhara I heard, now you have met the sadhu. Big difference. Atato. Now what? Now that you have studied all the Vedas, So many different meanings in that atato.
And I was thinking that that explanation of Mahaprabhu, Sanatan can only understand because he was such a learned, personality, and also, he could understand the detailed meaning of that. And I think it is necessary, that type of understanding, for the scholars in Sanskrit, those who are well versed in that.
Yes, those scholars, everyone will give a different meaning.
Yeah.
I remember Govind Maharaj once said, if you try to read the scripture on your own, you'll go crazy. Because there are so many different meanings. Everybody will show some different meaning for it. But the only way to learn the scriptures is through the sadhu, of the devotional, of the devotee, not by the jnani, the muni. You have to learn from the devotee, the bhakta. Otherwise, the scriptures can be very confusing. In one case, it'll mean this, in another case, it'll mean that, and quite the opposite things. So that's to teach us or tell us that the engagement of the mind, the engagement of the intelligence is not sufficient. That is not sufficient to understand what is what. That activity is not sufficient. That will not get us to where we want to be. Ever. It will only lead us into further entanglement. That is the lesson we have to learn. That there is a higher plane of focus, higher activity that we must be constantly engaged in, that will bring real satisfaction to our hearts. And that is a plane of devotion, dedication, love. Okay. Any comment, question? Otherwise, we'll end here. Maharaj?
Can I ask one question to Srila Shanta Maharaj? Dhanavad Pranam Maharaj. I remember many times you've mentioned, or at least a few times you've mentioned, that somewhere in the scriptures there is a verse where Parvati is lamenting to Lord Shiva because she found out that worship of Lord Vishnu was higher than Lord Shiva, but then Lord Shiva gave her a very nice response. I was wondering where that was, that verse.
That verse, I have to find, that is told by Srila, I think, search for Sri Krishna or somewhere,
Okay.
Let me see.
The Bhagavatam. Yes.
No, it is, I think, Padma Purana somewhere. That one. Aradhananam Vishnu.
Radhanam Seva.
Vishnu Aradhana Param. For all variety of, this is actually dignity of divine servitor. It is there. I could see one place. Let's see the other place. This is also there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 11.31. And Srila Sridhara Maharaj many times quoted it. Dignity of divine servitor. You seen that, Prabhu?
I didn't look just now, but once Sangha is over, I will find it.
Yes, in dignity of divine servitor is there.
Okay.
And yeah, it is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I can paste it for you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Is that?
Yes.
What does it say?
Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tariyanam samarchanam. Lord Shiva told the goddess Durga, "My dear Devi, although the Vedas recommend worship of demigods, the worship of Lord Vishnu is topmost. However, above the worship of Lord Vishnu is rendering service to Vaishnavas who are related to Lord Vishnu." Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya.
But where is that found?
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
No. What is the original source? Doesn't give.
It must be given there, a reference. Let me see.
I thought that was in the Bhagavatam.
This is divided to three. They not mentioned here in this.
Well, Sridhar Maharaj mentioned the name of Radha is not given.
This was included in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Srila Rupa Goswami.
Oh, it's there.
Their activity in this quotation from Padma Puran. Padma Puran.
Oh,
This is Padma Puran, Maharaj.
okay.
Yeah, Padma Puran.
Because in the
Dignity
Bhagavatam,
of
the name of Radha is not given. But this verse is there. Aradhanam.
yes. Aradhito. Aradhito is there, man.
Okay.
Now, it is mentioned in Revealed Truth also, Padma Puran. And it is there in Sri Guru and His grace.
Okay.
And that's what I was telling. In two parts, he has explained. Srila Sridhar Maharaj in Servant of Servants chapter. It is there. And let me paste it. Does not take somehow. Maybe there is some limit in pasting, huh? In the June?
There shouldn't be a limit.
Huh? It is a limit, has a limit?
No, there should not be.
I don't know.
Like a text limit, a number of text.
I think it has some limit in not taking.
Huh.
One does not take at all.
Strange.
I have not seen like that. They are not taken, there's some limit.
Oh.
This is what Sridhar said in Sigurunda's case.
In the Padma Purana, it is said, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Once Parvati Devi asked Lord Shiva, of all kinds of worship, whose worship is the best? Lord Shiva told her plainly, the worship and devotional service of Lord Narayan, Vishnu, is the highest. Parvati became a little mortified and disappointed, thinking, but I'm serving Shiva, so I hold a lower position. Then the next line came, Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadi Yanam Samarchanam. But higher than the worship of Narayan is worship of the devotees of Lord Narayan. That is even greater than devotion to the Lord himself. Then Parvati smiled, thinking, I am serving the devotee of Lord. Shiva is the devotee. Vaishnavam Yata Shambhu. So I am doing the best thing.
So Sridhara was many times telling this, because in India, and also he was in South India. In South India, there is a lot of conflict between Vaishnavism and Saivism.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Any other questions or comments?
Oh, Jayanti, Dr. Jayanti is not giving any talk in the conference?
Yes, Maharaj, I'm giving one, but
You're giving?
yes,
But you will not receive any title. What title your talk you are giving?
I'm giving the title. I just would like to.
What is the title?
Just give me 1 minute. I'll just tell you the title.
Okay. And Krishna Keshav Prabhu, who will be the MC this time?
Well, normally we have many MCs normally. During the beginning and the end, I can be MC because during the middle it will be nighttime here, so I can't do it then. And
Anupriya can do that?
Maharaj, I can do the Tuesday, something on the Tuesday.
Okay.
Monday is a little difficult, but the Tuesday I think it's okay.
Maharaj,
Yes.
the title is Difference Between Artificial and Natural Intelligence, a philosophical understanding of Sripad Puri Maharaj. This thought.
Very nice. So you send that to my this WhatsApp, so I will include it. Okay.
Yes, yes. I also need further guidance. Okay, I just would like to complete the paper maybe by tomorrow or day after. So
Okay.
I've only written the abstract. So I have to need
Okay.
some edit also and complete paper. Then I'll send.
Okay. Very nice.
Dr. Sahu also offered to do any kind of help with the conference via
Yes, if I can help any kind of online, because this time no offline, I'm not coming. But
Okay.
next maybe definitely 100%. But online, because it's university exams are going up, and
Okay.
we are supposed to do the duties also, that DS superintendent duties. So we are
Okay.
middle of the session. So till 31st we have the exam. So we can't.
Okay. You can note down some of the important talks, and you can ask some good questions.
Yes, I can write some kind of explanatory note to the.
Yes.
Then I can.
And can you prepare a short like press note?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
I'll
And
do that.
you have some contact with the press in your area?
Not much, but one or two people I know. I can request them
Okay.
from
If
my
that can be,
college.
some kind of publication can be done, that will be good.
Yes, I'll ask some people. I know few people. I can ask them. One of my friend is there in BHU. She has some contact. So I'll
Okay.
ask her to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm putting your talk, you send me the title, I will put, then we will announce. Krishna Kesa Prabhu, it is ready, then you can send an announcement once we include Dr. Sao's talk.
Okay. Maharaj, what
And
about
we-
those other two people?
No, their Kapaleswar is not speaking anyway, not coming. So, and that other person, they actually, we added extra. Only 2 people are presenting, actually. So all included.
Okay.
What title are you putting for my talk?
Same as
Oh,
Huh?
you're
you seen that?
same as the name of the conference. Difference between artificial and natural intelligence. Do you
Is
want
that the title of my talk?
You didn't give one.
That's what been given to me.
Yeah, I that's what I said because I didn't know
Oh.
what you were going to present on.
No.
Give it. Okay.
My title is a computer smarter than a fruit fly?
Die.
Maharaj, did you say fruit pie?
Fruit fly.
Oh, fruit fly.
And that is called Dasophilia. You know Dasophilia? Okay, I Dandavat pranams to all.
Dandavat, Maharaj. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Prabhu Gosila Bhakti Puri Maharaj ki jai. Dandavat.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
All the devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Hari bol.
No.
Jai Guru.
Hare Krishna.